Hey, what's the crack? This is Oliver Keane, Motion Design, and today I'm going to show you basic 3D layers and basic cameras inside of After Effects. So let's go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an image to download. So basically, I'll show you right now. It's a butterfly image. If you go to the link underneath this video, you will find this footage. When you have this footage downloaded, drag this straight into After Effects. So if I click and drag straight over here to my project panel, you'll get your butterfly right there. And if I go here, right click and go new comp from selection, it'll basically make a new comp from that butterfly. And you can see there's a black background on this, but if you press your little toggle transparency grid, you will get your transparent background of this butterfly, and you'll be able to see easier because, you know, if your background's black, you won't be able to see the wings that easy, you know, because there's black on the wings. But if you press your transparency right here, you can see it. But if you want to, zoom back from it, go Control or Command minus, it can zoom back from it a tiny bit because you don't need it that big. See? So I'm just going to set it to 200% for my screen right here. And if you click on this footage right now, okay, what I'm going to do straight off is I'm going to half this image. And I used this image before for another tutorial I did about masking, and it's really good. But I'm going to kind of repeat one process, is halving this image. So if I come here to your butterfly here, okay, see up here we have our rectangular tool. If you click that, okay, and I'm just going to click out here and I'm going to drag, I'm going to left click and drag half of this butterfly. So here. Okay, and if you want to know actually the exact half as well, so if you come here to your title action safe, turn that on, you can get your exact half. So what I'm going to do is go Command Z, so we get back our mask, okay, and then I'm just going to click out here and drag straight to this crosshair in the middle. See, there's a crosshair right there, so I'm just going to roughly to like half of this image, see, and then leave go. So there we go, we have like half of a butterfly with a mask, you see. And what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to duplicate this guy. So if we press Command D, it'll duplicate it. And then if you press M on your keyboard, M for mother, it'll bring your mask up. Or if you don't want to use a keyboard shortcut, if you come down here, your little arrow, and click down your mask, so you get your mask here. But for this one, the top one, I'm going to make my mask inverted. So if you go here, so then you get like, your butterfly halved. So you have your right one at the top and we have our left one. Okay, but I'm actually going to get my right one and drag it underneath. Okay, so then we have left first and then we have the right one underneath. And what I'm going to do is just going to rename these. So if you press enter on your keyboard, I'm going to go left on that one, and then I'm going to press enter again and go right. Then we know that's like the left wing and right wing. You can call them left wing or right wing. So yeah, we have left and right. Okay, so what I want to do is make this butterfly flap. So a really easy way to do that is with 3D layers. And a 3D layer basically is exactly what it says on the tin. It makes an image 3D. So one thing you have to understand about After Effects though is After Effects is mainly like a 2D, not really 3D program. It works like with 2D planes in 3D space. So you just need to kind of think about that small bit, okay? You'll get to grips with it a bit when you start doing it, and I'll show you that right now. So right now we have our left and right. So if we click these two left and right images right here, okay, and if you don't see this straight away, see this little toggle switch modes down here? If you click that, you'll get this little, switches between the track mats and the parent links to back to basically all these other controllers. So basically, see this little box here? This is a 3D layer. So this is how you make your images three-dimensional, basically. So if you click, see here, it has 3D layers. If you click that right now, nothing's going to happen. So you have to actually click on the box below. So if you click the box at the top, while two of these are selected by holding. So if you click one and press Control, another, it basically can highlight two at the same time. So if you click the 3D button right there, or you can do it individually, like 1, 2. So basically make two of them 3D. So make sure two of these have the little 3D box on them right now. Okay, what happens straight away after that, basically you can see you get these 3D controls. So you don't have that if you turn it off, see? So that makes, when you turn that off, it's back to a 2D layer, and then when you click the little 3D icon, it's now a 3D layer. So what's the 3D layer do? Basically, like if I press R for rotation on my keyboard, that'll give me all my rotation values. Or if you just click down and go to transform, so straight away what happens, you can see, so on my transform, just keep an eye on this transform here, and if you click off the 3D button, you lose values when you click off the 3D layer button on your layer. So if you click that again, it'll give you more values, see? So it gives you like extra orientation and so on, and it gives you X and Y and Z rotation as well. So basically in 3D space. So what we're going to mainly animate today is the Y rotation on this, because what I want to do is make this butterfly flap basically. So straight away, what I'm going to do is drag this and watch what happens. Drag it anyway. See, it makes your image 3D. So you actually can pull it, you know, around, and it looks more 3D, and it looks more like, you know, dynamic and so on. But if I turn that off, I come here and press Command Z and turn off my 3D layer right now. See, your rotation, you only have rotation in the 2D space, so only really on, you know, a flat plane. But then if you press Command Z and then turn back on your 3D toggle here, and then if you come back to the Y again, and then see, you get all these extra values. So you get X, Y, and Z. So you have 3-dimensional space. So see there right now, we get straight away more 3D. So that's a 3D layer. So you can actually start playing around with it and so on. So if I press Command Z, and I'm actually going to do this on the both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collapse that one, and I'm going to go press Command or Control and click on both of these at the same time, so we get both. And I'm going to press R, okay, and I'm going to add values to the Y rotations. If you click this little stopwatch on the Y for both, see, I'll add for both, come to 1 second here, okay. And on this one, so what I'm going to do is actually going to click off, and I'm going to start with the left, okay. So at the start of this, okay, it'll be 0, so nothing's happening. And then if you come to 1 second, and with the rotation, I'm going to have the rotation start out around minus 60-ish, so minus 60, okay. And then the one on the right, I'm going to go plus 60, okay. So if you come here to plus 60, keep dragging along till you get plus 60, there you go. And then if you come back and see what happens, see, you're getting your butterfly flapping already, see. So back and forward, back and forward. But what I want to do is, this is not really realistic right now, you know, we're only getting a small bit of animation, you know. So what I want to do is, my first keyframe here, I want the left side to be plus 60 instead. So it goes, always starts with 60, okay, so this one's going to be 60, and then the first keyframe on this one will be minus 60, okay. So we've got 60, okay. So what do we have here right now? We have the butterfly flapping, see? Hey, a bit, you know, but I wanted to keep flapping and not have to stop, okay. So if I come here to 2 seconds, okay, here I'm just gonna highlight the first keyframe and press Control or Command C, and then Control and Command V, and then the same with the one underneath, Control C, Control V, okay. And then if I trim my comp to 2 seconds, if you press N at 2 seconds, I'll trim my comp. And then if you come back here and just press the space bar and see what happens, we get a butterfly flapping. Very, very easy, you know, in 3D space by one image, you know, and it's very, very simple, you know. There's a seam there, tiny bit in my animation, you can see it really easy, and a simple fix to that basically. You just come back here, okay, to the first one, and come down to my right one and just move it over like a few pixels left right there. So see if that worked. Oh, just come back here a tiny bit, and just same again until you see that seam, and just move over your, you know, your butterfly over slightly so you don't see that little seam, see. So that's a simple way of making a butterfly flap, see, in 3D. And it looks a bit, you know, basic right now, you know what I mean? It's like not really doing much because it's like stopping and going. If you highlight all these keyframes right now and just right click and go to keyframe assistant and go easy ease, and that'll basically just give you a bit more variation in the animation, you know. It looks more easy, like a butterfly flapping, you know. So there you go, you have a nice butterfly flapping from one image, you know, using 3D layers. So 3D layers, like I said, are really handy. But you can see right now what's going on. My animation is my, you know, my layers are cropping off. So what you might need to do is go to your composition right here and just make your composition settings a bit larger, you know. This is really small, so it depends really on whatever you want your composition size to be. I'm just going to make this HD right now. So if you come up here to custom and come to HD TV 29, and actually make this 30 seconds or whatever frame rate you want really. I'm just going to do 30 seconds, and then if you press OK, that'll just make your, I'm go for here, I'll just make your composition wider so you can see your little butterfly flapping around like that, see. That's how you animate a butterfly, like super quickly with 3D layers. And then what I want to do is just like see this more in 3D than flat on, okay. So if we come up here and go, I'm going to add in a camera. So if you come up here to layer, new, and go camera, and just go, that's our main camera, and you go okay. So right now this is just a normal camera, but it's really nice because what you can do right now is if you come up here to this little button up here, it's called Orbit Around Coarser tool. So you can see this is really flat right now, you know, your little butterfly is really flat. But if you click this button up here, the orbit one, and then if you left click and drag, you can basically just like almost give your butterfly a bit more angle, you know, with the camera. So basically it's basically just changing the view of your camera. Come back here and press play. Your butterfly is almost 3D, see, in like 3D space. So there you go. In my next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to animate stuff along a path inside of After Effects. So see you guys in that next tutorial, and talk to you soon.